Hey Carla, I'm back. And today I'm making Mom's Thanksgiving dressing. Something she makes every year at Thanksgiving. We never stuff the bird. We always do dressing on the outside of the bird for reasons we'll discuss later. Um, if you ever do this, throw it away. This is better. This is so much better. So I'm going to show you how to make this. It's easy. Doesn't take a long time. It is incredibly, incredibly delicious. I'm eating some more. And it's perfect for Thanksgiving or Christmas or whenever you want to make it. So, I'm going to show you how to make this. So here's the ingredients we're going to use for Mom's dressing, not stuffing. First of all, she uses this cornbread classic stuffing from Pepperidge Farm. She uses just the plain cornbread. They do have different types that have different seasonings and things like this. I asked her about it. Mom just uses just the plain cornbread, so that's what I'm using. You're going to need 1 egg of whatever color you choose, beaten up. We're going to use some celery, some onion, some chicken broth, cream of celery soup, and I'm going to add a little bit of sage and a little bit of thyme. And that's pretty much it. So it's pretty simple in terms of ingredients as to what she does. Now, Mom does not use the celery or the onion. She uses the other stuff, but not that. I like to add a little vegetation to my dressing, but we're not going to tell Joseph about this because, as y'all watch my videos, you know my husband does not eat vegetables, so I have to sneak them in and disguise them. So that's what we're going to do today. And Joseph, I hope you're not watching this. So we're going to get started. Okay, I'm going to start off cutting up the celery. Now, if it were just me eating this by myself, I would just be cutting the celery like that and be done with it into little slices like that. I'm going to eat that. But because I have to disguise this, so Joseph doesn't realize he's eating celery, I'm going to cut it into much finer pieces. So basically, slice it down the middle into some smaller strips. Like this. And then I'm just going to slice it into little pieces like that until I get about a cup of celery. And then basically I'm going to do the same thing with the onion. Joseph is okay with onions being in food as long as he doesn't know there's onions in food. That might sound weird, but if you cut it up fine enough that it doesn't look like an onion, he's kind of okay with it. So I'm going to try and do the same sneaky thing with the celery that I do with the onion. So we're just going to continue this until I get a cup of celery. Then we're going to do the same thing with the onion, get a cup of onion. Then we're going to saute those in some butter. So we'll do that. Be right back. Okay, celery's cut up. So now I'm just going to work on the onion. Peel this outer piece off. I'm going to cut this up as finely as I can. I got to tell you a story about the new vegetable thing with Joseph. I'm used to him not eating vegetables because even though we got married 2 years ago, we've known each other since 2004. So I'm kind of used to the no vegetable thing with him. When it gets interesting sometimes is when we go to a restaurant. We both love hibachi, and of course they always want to put the vegetables with the fried rice and all that, and Joseph will try to explain to them that he does not want vegetables in his fried rice. And there are times between their Asian accent and Joseph's Puerto Rican accent that I have to step in and act as an interpreter to kind of explain in plain English that he does not want vegetables. So anyway, slice that up fine, and then I'm just going to cut it down there into little parts and pieces. Again, Mom does not add the onion or the celery to hers, but I like to tinker with recipes, so I'm doing this. So we're going to do this till I get about a cup. And then we're going to saute these before we add them to the mixture. Okay, so I'm going to continue on with that till I get a cup. And then we'll saute these, and then we'll throw everything together. Alright, got the vegetables all chopped up, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to saute them in some butter. I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons of butter. Interestingly enough, a couple of months ago, somebody that I follow that's in the UK had a question about how Americans, with their crazy recipes, measure butter. They didn't understand how we could measure out tablespoons of butter. Like, they thought we melted it and put it in a tablespoon or something, and maybe their butter's different from ours. I know here, if you're watching in the UK, our butter sticks have measurements on the side of them, and that's how we measure the butter. So I don't know what butter's like over there, but that's how we do it here. So I'm going to take 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to melt this in the little pan. We're going to saute these vegetables. Okay, the butter's melted and getting nice and kind of bubbly, so I'm going to add, first of all, my celery. And then the onion. We're just going to stir these around a bit and cook them until they get kind of translucent. Cooked a little bit. You know, this whole thing's going to get baked anyway, but go ahead and cook this stuff first. There's always a big debate at Thanksgiving time here in the US about stuffing or dressing. There's basically 2 camps. Either you're a stuffing person or you're a dressing person. And people get kind of adamant about which it should be. There are people who swear it has to be stuffing inside the bird. Other people who say no, it has to be dressing outside the bird. I've always been a dressing person. Number one, health reasons. Stuffing, if it's not cooked fully inside the bird, can harbor all kinds of nasty bacteria that can do bad things to you. Plus the fact, I don't trust anything that comes out of a turkey's butt. So, that's my thought. Mom always made dressing, so that's what I'm doing, and that's what I like. Plus the fact, the way I cook my turkey, because I brine my turkey, if you tried to do it with stuffing, it would come out way too salty. Which is why I cannot make my own turkey gravy from the drippings from the turkey, is because I brine my turkey. So that's one of the downsides of brining a turkey. You really can't use the drippings from that to make turkey gravy. So anyway, we're doing dressing. That's the way Mom always did it. Always does it every year. She still does it. So while that is simmering, I'm going to go ahead and add the sage and the thyme to it. 1 teaspoon of thyme. 1 teaspoon of sage. Sage is one of those herbs I always associate with Thanksgiving. Just the smell of it. Just always, when I think of Thanksgiving, I think of sage. Something about it goes well with the bird and all that. It's just one of those smells that I associate with the holidays like that. It goes great with turkey. So this way it'll all be combined. So we're just going to keep sauteing this till the onions kind of get translucent and cooked through, and the celery kind of gets cooked through. And then we're going to combine everything in the big bowl, and then we'll transfer it and we'll bake it. So we'll be back in just a moment. Alright, the veggies are done sauteing, so now it's time to assemble this stuff. So we're going to start with breadcrumbs into the bowl. Like such, and then basically it's everybody into the pool. So I'm going to start with the 2 cups of the chicken broth. Put that in first. If I need more, I can add more. Mom said add chicken broth to moisten, but she didn't specify how moist it was supposed to be. Anyway, alright, we'll start there. Pour this in. Alright, 1 egg beaten. Cream of celery soup. You could use cream of chicken soup if you wanted to. It would be just fine. Trying to get as much of this out of here as I can. Alright, then the veggies. There's Pauline finally making an appearance. You're on the wrong side of the camera, dog. We're on this side. Come over here where everybody can see you. There you go. You want some... Oh, look at you. Yeah. You like the way that smells, don't you? Okay, good girl. So now we're just going to stir all this up. And it's going to go into a greased pan, which I've got over there. I just used some cooking spray. I actually used some canola oil spray on it. You could use whatever cooking spray you want. It'll be just fine. I'm going to mix this up fairly well. The dog has taken an interest in it now. She's been laying on the sofa the whole afternoon while I'm doing this, but now she's definitely interested. Add a little bit more chicken broth. There we go. Looking pretty good. Smells pretty good. Not even cooked yet. Okay. Into the pan. And this is going into a preheated 350 degree oven for about 40 minutes. Mom said cook it till it's done. Thanks, Mom. That was real helpful. But we're going to try about 40 minutes and see how that works out. Like I said, Mom makes this every year at Thanksgiving. It's one of those things I love. This stuff is good cold too, by the way. I might mention that. It doesn't have to be hot. I mean, she refrigerates the leftover and we just eat the leftovers cold. They're really good. By the way, this is my third Thanksgiving video. First one I think was my cranberry relish that I did a couple of years ago. That's Joseph's favorite dish that I make. If you haven't seen that, go back and check out that video. It's really, really good. If you want something different from the canned cranberry sauce, check out the cranberry relish video because it's awesome. There we go. The second video I did was the lime jello, congealed lime jello recipe that I did. That video is now almost at 1,000 views on YouTube, which I find pretty amazing considering I'm just a small little YouTube channel with only about 33 subscribers. The fact that it's got almost 1,000 views, pretty impressive to me. I think it's pretty cool. Alright, so all laid out there, going into the oven 40 minutes. We'll see what it looks like when I take it out. I forgot to mention I'm supposed to cover this, so let me do that before I stick it in the oven. That might make a difference. Now it's going into the oven. So here's the finished product, and I've got to tell you, between the time I put it in and the time I took it out, I made a phone call to Mom, who told me she does not cover hers when she bakes it. I actually cooked this for about 40 minutes. I took it out of the oven, and the top still didn't look done. Well, it was done, but it wasn't brown. Mom's is always brown on top, and she said she never covers hers. So I took the cover off, put it back in the oven for another 15 minutes, and here we are. So here it is. I'm going to scoop some out. If I can do this without burning myself. This is Mom's dressing, not stuffing. And I'm the type of person that normally when I eat this, I'm going to slather it with like turkey gravy. But I'm going to give this a shot here and see how this version turned out. The dog is here waiting impatiently because she wants some so bad, don't you, Pauline? You want some? Pauline, come over here. Oh gosh, that's good. Wow. That's good without putting turkey gravy on it, actually. Yeah. I'll be munching on that today. So, there you are. If you prefer dressing instead of stuffing, make this easy to make. Not a whole lot of complicated ingredients. This is incredibly tasty. Oh, wow. Like I said, Mom makes hers without the celery and onions added to it, or the sage and thyme, but I like to add a little something extra. But you can, excuse me, you can make this quite easily. Doesn't take a long time either, and it's really good. So something else you can make for Thanksgiving. So I hope you like this, Carla. I want you to remember, Carla, I love you always. Enjoy your Thanksgiving.